It happens here, in Townshend, once named the most statistically average town in Massachusetts. Home to the biggest producer of plastic housewares in the country and the largest collection of American grandfather clocks in the world. First settled in 1720 when mills and cooper shops sprang up on the Squanicook, and named for British statesman Charles Townshend. Residents dropped the H after the Revolution. Today, history is alive in this quaint community of nearly 10,000 people and 2 traffic lights. Here, traditions are king. One proud tradition is the Townshend Military Band.
As far as we know, we're the 3rd oldest band in the country in continuous service.
Dating back more than 200 years, they've never missed a season, playing free summer concerts on the Common every Thursday.
I have been coming since I was a child. I cried when it rained on Thursday nights because then I couldn't get to come and meet with my friends.
Betty Mae Tenney has been managing the band for 50 years.
We try to include from young people up through people in their 70s and 80s.
They're some of the best musicians in the area. They're people who love to play their instruments.
I play B-flat trumpet. This is my first year actually being a member.
To the sounds of Sousa's, show tunes, and classics, young and old alike enjoy a lawn party hosted by a different community group each week.
Oh, it's just fun. It's fun. And they get to come out of their houses on a warm night and see each other.
We've been told we have the best fried dough on the Common.
The music is fabulous. The people are nice. I feel young again.
This definitely turns back the clock. There's some old pictures of the Townshend Common going back to the 1800s, and it really doesn't look that much different.
Also not much different, the Reed Homestead, an 1809 federal-style home in the village of Townshend Harbor.
It's remained largely unchanged since the early 1800s when it was first built, which is one of the neatest things because it really is like being able to step back in a time machine and see what Townshend was like 200 years ago.
Tabor Morrill of the Townshend Historical Society showed us inside.
It's some of the best collection of everyday clothing in New England.
But to see the home's biggest draw, you'll have to come yourself.
We had the Center for Painted Wall Preservation take a trip in, and their jaws hit the floor when they arrived because they've never seen one that's that well preserved.
A rare mural by traveling artist and inventor Rufus Porter.
And he would come in just for room and board, and he would do these beautiful scenes.
His work here, a unique take on the surrounding neighborhood.
It's sort of a fanciful version, I think, of the Townshend Harbor that's just outside.
So how did a village 50 miles from the ocean get the name Harbor anyways? Some speculate the area was once a safe harbor for slaves on the Underground Railroad, or even earlier, a shelter from Indian attacks, which is probably not true, but no one really knows for sure. The falls and old cooperage above them draw visitors from near and far.
I don't think there's a better location anywhere.
Bill Faniff operates a shop inside.
We have different artists and artisans. We have got woodworkers, potters, photographers, painters, along with antiques and some vintage.
All trades Townshend is known for.
So this is one of the earliest clocks in the shop. This was made circa 1710.
In the village of West Townshend, in a carriage house built by renowned painter Winslow Homer's brother, is Delaney's Antique Clocks.
You won't find a bigger selection of American tall case clocks anywhere in the world.
Brothers Sean and John Delaney are carrying on the family business.
We like to think within 3 phone calls, if you're serious about clocks, you'll probably hear about us.
And if they look familiar, maybe you recognize them from Antiques Roadshow. They're expert appraisers.
My first year, I had beginner's luck, and it came in a duffel bag, and they had no idea what they had, and it was a $125,000 clock.
While they ship worldwide,
New Zealand, Japan, we're surprised at how far a lot of these go.
One of their clocks went just down the street to Memorial Hall, an 1894 Queen Anne-style monument to Civil War veterans. By 1994, it had fallen into disrepair.
A lot of the plaster in the building was starting to fall off the ceilings.
So the town came together raising money for a massive renovation.
And it was quite a project because they wanted to bring it back to what it was originally. They tried to replicate all of the artwork you see on the walls and stuff.
And while history is always on display, Townshend has been modernizing, opening a new library, senior center, fire station, and highway garage, all thanks to the generosity of the town's biggest business leader,
Sterilite, the makers of plastic containers such as these,
who personally paid for all of it.
It really evokes that day gone by where industrialists care about the community and the people. It's truly about charity, and charity is what you do quietly.
It's that spirit of community that makes Townshend special, a place almost frozen in time somewhere between colonial New England and a post-war sense of Americana.
It's like walking back into a Norman Rockwell picture.
So what about that whole average label?
You know, those things are just statistics. I think you'll find people here really care about the town.
I think we're well above average in everything from history to the people who are here today.
The architecture and the old buildings and the old homes, and just driving through some of the back roads, like you just feel like you're kind of in a different time. To me, that makes it more above average, yeah.
It Happens Here is driven by your New England Chevy dealers.